It's easy to be a king in the sunshine. True power is shown by how you walk through the storm. True strength never looks heroic while it's happening. True strength looks dirty, looks ordinary, looks painful. There are moments in life, the strange ones, almost unnatural moments, that doesn't look like a fresh new beginning, but more like a solid wall, like a dense, opaque fog, or like the total end of everything you have ever known. These are the days when you're so tired that it's no longer a physical exhaustion that sleep can fix. It's a fatigue of the soul. When you no longer have the strength to explain to anyone what's wrong with you. To justify yourself because you're not where others thought you would be. To believe in a better tomorrow because today is too heavy for you to even hold in your hands. When you sit alone in the semi-darkness and your own breath sounds like a foreign body, you ask yourself, is this my limit? Is this the moment when I break? And right then, in that absolute silence, where there is no longer the noise of other people's expectations, that's exactly where something begins that you didn't know you possessed. Strength. But be careful, not the kind of strength they talk about in commercials. Not that loud, aggressive strength that others see and applaud. But it's that quiet, almost inaudible strength that finally begins to awaken only when you realize you have nothing else left to rely on except yourself. We all think we know our limits. We draw them in our minds. I can handle this, that would destroy me. But life has a way of erasing those lines of yours and drawing its own. There comes a moment when life takes away what you thought defined you. A secure job, the person you loved more than yourself, your health, your status. And then that terrifying yet pivotal thing happens. First comes confusion. You look in the mirror and search for that old version of yourself. That person who had a plan, who knew the answers, who knew where they were going. But that person is gone. They remained in the past. And that's the hardest lesson you'll ever learn. You won't get through this by trying to go back. You'll have to accept the darkness as your current home. You'll have to learn to breathe under that pressure. Rock bottom is not the end. Rock bottom is the most common ground you'll ever touch. Only when you feel the hard ground beneath your feet do you know there's nowhere left to fall. Now there's only one direction, but that direction requires a new you. True strength never looks heroic while it's happening. It doesn't come with music, it doesn't come with the spotlight. True strength looks dirty, looks ordinary, looks painful. It looks like this. You get out of bed even though it feels like gravity is 10 times stronger today. You prepare a meal even though you have no appetite at all. You keep doing your job even though you no longer see any meaning in it. You stay silent and endure while injustice burns you, because you know that your response wouldn't change anything. That strength that doesn't feed on motivation. Forget about motivation. It's like sugar. It lifts you up and then leaves you empty. This strength feeds purely on raw decision. the decision that today, just today, you won't give up. You don't promise yourself eternity. You don't promise yourself great victories. You just promise that you'll survive the next hour. Because sometimes in a world that demands you to always win, the bravest thing you can do is simply stay, not to run away from your own life. The most painful part of every fall isn't the loss of things. It's that moment when you start doubting your own worth. When you ask yourself in the dark, if I didn't succeed at this, who am I really? If no one pats me on the back anymore, what am I worth? But right there, in that crack in your identity, a space opens up for the truth you've been avoiding for years. You are not your title. You are not your bank account. You are not your latest failure. You are what remains when all of that is taken away from you and you are left alone with yourself. You are that inner observer who refuses to give up. If you are still here, if your lungs are still searching for air, if your heart, despite everything, still wants to try at least one more time, that is proof that within you there is a source that does not depend on the outside world. You are the architect who can build from the ashes. And ash is the best material because it can no longer burn. Don't underestimate those small, almost invisible steps. Strength is not built in the weight of success. It is built in the silence of failure. That one single phone call that you still managed to make, that one difficult page that you still forced yourself to read, and that one long day when you were truly kind to yourself, even though you felt like a complete failure. These are the quiet, defining moments in which your inner character is slowly being built and strengthened over time. Every time you say just a little more to that voice whispering to you to give up, you become stronger than you ever were on the days when everything went your way. It's easy to be a king in the sunshine, but true strength is shown by how you walk through the storm. One day, you'll look back on these hard days and realize that it wasn't your victories that built you. You were built by the days when you thought you couldn't go on, but you did anyway. If you're currently in a dark place, if you feel like you're running out of breath, know that this isn't the end of your story. This is just the part where your true strength gathers energy to awaken. You're not weak because you fall. You're only weak if you decide that the mud is your new home. And I know you won't allow that. Because if you had wanted to give up, you would have done it a long time ago. The fact that you're still listening to this means that your fire is still burning. And you don't have to conquer the whole world today. It's enough that today you don't give up on yourself. The strength you didn't know you had has always been there. It was just waiting to become the only option. Don't give up. Your story is just beginning.